Hey, it's Nick with Us versus Her. Today I'm going to be talking about funding companies, futures funding companies, or what you call as prop firms. I'm mostly going to be focusing on Topstep because, obviously they're the largest. Most people are using them. There are a ton of other prop trading firms, but I am mostly going to cover Topstep. Most of them are going to have, different rules, but at the end of the day, the result is the same. Now this is not a video to hate on Topstep. It's just kind of show you what it is, or other futures funding companies, what it is and how you can get the most use out of it if you decide to use it, or if you're not ready to use it just yet to basically get funded as a get funded trader. Because it sounds exciting. Like everyone's like, hey, get funded, you could become a funded trader, we're going to give you X amount of dollars. But that is not the case. So we're going to kind of debunk that, show you what the truth is about these funding companies, and then you can determine for yourself if you're ready to trade with these people, if you'd rather just trade your own money, or if you'd rather just trade your own simulation account, because that's what this is, even when you get funded. So we're going to cover all that here. I'm going to pull up the Topstep website and kind of just, pick apart and show you piece by piece what it is, what you get. And, when you're first looking at it, and you can go to a lot of other funding firms' websites as well, generally the same. I would say Topstep, they're a bit more strict in terms of the rules. And the reason for that, why are they more strict, is because they want the most profitable traders to get through. Which, it makes sense. It makes sense. You want the most profitable traders to get through. But at the end of the day, if you're just starting out, you're not going to be one of the most profitable traders. You're not going to be in the upper 10 percentile, right? You're going to be maybe not even in the first 50 percentile. You might be in the bottom, 5 percentile, right? Which, like, if you're at the 5 percentile and you're just trying to figure this out, my recommendation would not try to go with a prop trading firm, okay? Why? Is because it's going to cost you a lot of money to actually learn how to trade. And if you're just like getting into this and you're just trying to learn how to trade, this is not going to be for you. Because if you look at some of these prices here, right now for these accounts here, we're going to go over the monthly pricing here. You're going to be paying $165 a month minimum, up to $375. There's some prop firms that have $600 a month accounts and stuff like that. And it sounds like, okay, if I pay $300 a month, I'm going to get access to 150K or 100K for $325 or so on. They make it look exciting, but they don't actually give you that money. You're actually going to be trading a paper account or a demo account to prove yourself that you can actually make a profit, which makes sense from a business standpoint. You don't want to give people money if they're not profitable, because then you're just going to be going, your company's going to be bankrupt. The thing is, where a lot of these funding companies come into is that they, I would say, I'm not going to say pray, but they make more money if you fail. Let's just put it that way. I'm just gonna be blunt. They make more money if you fail. They don't make a lot of money. They give you a percentage, like Topstep gives you 80%. They keep 20% of your profits. Meanwhile, you still have to pay that monthly fee. Other prop firms, that you keep 90%, they take 10%. Whatever the case is, it's the same thing, right? But they make a lot of money off of these because they're reaping in these monthly fees while you're paper trading, trying to prove yourself. Okay, so you got to pay them to prove yourself to them on a paper account. So they have zero risk up front. They have zero risk for you to basically sign up. You're trading a paper account, demo account, and they have zero risk as a company, and they're making minimum $165 to $400 a month, right, off of you trying to prove yourself. And the longer it takes you, which we're going to kind of go through, the longer it takes you, the more money that they make. And then, once you get through, they pay out, right? They do pay out. They do. It's not a scam in that sense, but they are counting on many will fail, and they'll keep paying those monthly fees. And that's that's the business model. It's not glamorous, but it is what it is. That's what it is right now. Now, if you're thinking, hey, I'm going to get a $150,000 account, $100 access to 100K, you absolutely do not. Essentially, if we're looking at I'm going to go over profit targets here in a second, but I just want to go over position size and the loss limits, okay? So if you think about it, on the 50K account here, it's saying you have $1,000 daily loss, $2,000 on the 100K, and $3,000. So in reality, they're giving you $1,000 for the 50K account, $2,000. They're giving that because if you hit your daily loss limit, you actually have to wait for the next month for your account to get reset and you get to try again. However, you got to pay another $165 minimum, or a little idea popped in their head like, hey, if you want to get going now, you got to pay a reset fee, which is like 85 or 90 bucks, right? Somewhere between 85 and 90 bucks. So you got to pay a reset fee. So, I mean, this is kind of like the modern day, it's not a scam, but they have a lot of ways that they build in profit for themselves. They make money off the monthly fees. They make money off the resets. So the more you blow your account, the more money that they make, because you're going to be locked in for the monthly and you're going to be paying reset fees because you probably want to get going. Like if you just started the monthly and you blew your account 2 days later or even the next day, you're not going to want to wait to the next month to actually be able to trade again. You want to go again. I mean, we got that, human psychology. We have that addiction. We want to go. We want to make money. We want to do it now. So let's pay that $90 and let's reset the account. And different trading firms have different prices for resets and different promos and all that stuff. And the result, again, is the same across all these companies. You blow your account, you pay more money. You're locked into a monthly fee while you're simulation trading. And the amount of capital that you have access to, sure, you could trade up to 5 contracts, but this is causing them to have zero leverage. So the 5 contracts, 10 contracts, or 50 contracts is going to give them, there's zero leverage on that for the company because you're trading in a demo account. So there's no risk to them. You get $1,000 in paper money to trade with, or $2,000. Meanwhile, on Topstep, where it gets a little bit harder, that's your daily loss. So if you hit your daily loss, and that's in step 1, we'll cover the rules here. In step 2, they heighten the bar. So they go from, in step 1, they go from kind of weeding out a lot of traders, right? So in step 1, you got to meet your profit target. You got to trade a minimum of 5 days. It's a little bit loose. I mean, sure, you don't want to hit that. You don't want to hit that daily loss limit. The daily loss limit right here again would be the 1,000 or 2,000, anywhere between 1,000 and 3,000 bucks. Your daily loss limit, kind of loose. So if you lose 1,000, let's say you lost $900 one day, and then the next day you came back in, you could on step 1 you could still trade, right? As long as you don't hit your trailing maximum drawdown, which your trailing maximum drawdown is going to be $2,000 or up to $4,500. So you have a daily loss limit of $1,000, but then you have a trailing max down of $2,000. So if you hit that trailing max down, what happens? You reset your account, right? You have to reset your account. You have to try again. You're still locked into the program. And the way that these are work, they want you to stay within the program because that's where they make the most money. Monthly fees and resets. That's where they're going to be making the most money off of you, essentially, right? Sure, if you're a good trader and a profitable trader, you could probably fly through this and everything will be okay. But where it gets a little bit harder in step 2 is you can't just not hit your daily, but you can't hit your weekly loss limit. So it says here for step 2, do not hit your weekly or daily loss limit. So the interesting thing is here for these, your daily loss limit and your weekly loss limit is the exact same. Right. So in step 1, if you come close to your daily loss limit, you'll be okay. Let's say you lose $900. Okay, not so bad. The next day you can come in and as long as you don't hit that trailing max drawdown of $2,000, right? Where things get incredibly harder is if they go, okay, let's say you lost, if you're on step 2, you pass step 1, everything's good. On step 2, where let's say you lose $800 one day. Right? You lose $800 in a day. Come back tomorrow. Unlike step 1, it doesn't reset. Or doesn't trail down. You only have $200 before you hit your weekly loss limit. So what do you do? What do you do if you only have like $200 or $100 left in your weekly loss limit? Because you actually have to wait till Monday, the next day, or Sunday night, whenever that reset is. You actually have to wait, and then you can start clean. But what does this do? This eats up time. So the longer that you're here, so you're like, I don't want to blow my account, but you're gonna, if you kind of have to weigh the options. Do I take the risk blowing my account and then paying that reset fee, but get the rest of the week so I can pass my test? Or do I wait till Monday, but then you burn a week out of the month and then you come closer to having to pay that monthly price? And this is where, they kind of give you enough rope to hang yourself with, where you have to make the decisions. And a lot of people, especially if you're a new trader, you're kind of not sure what to do, right? You're kind of, you may not even realize a lot of these products that you're trading, how much they cost. They're like, oh yeah, I'll give 5 contracts, I'll do all 5 contracts. Listen, if you're gonna do 5 contracts with $1,000 loss limit, let me just kind of show you how that works here. We'll pull up the futures calculator here. So we'll look at the S&P 500. So if you did 5 contracts and for 1 point equals $50 on the S&P, so ES, right? So let's just do, and you say, let's say I want to go for 5. Let's go for 5 points, 5 contracts. So if you go for 5 contracts and you went for 5 points on the ES, right? This is going to be $1,250. That's more than your maximum loss. So you're like, oh, I only want to hit 1 point on ES. Okay. Let's see what that is. So that's $250. You could trade that, but what's your, a lot of new traders aren't disciplined in terms of what their stop loss should be. Like, what is your stop loss on there? What's your entry strategy? What's your exit strategy? If you're trading max like this, max contract like this, if you're just trading 1 point, $250, you're gonna blow through, and then it gets harder. So as you lose money, especially if you're on step 2, the less chance you are to be able to get back to break even, because you're gonna have less resources to actually make money, right? You're gonna have less resources because you don't want to hit your weekly stop loss limit. Okay, if you're trading NASDAQ, even worse. If you're trading NASDAQ, agreed. Again, size is everything. But this has everything to do with regular trading too. So if you're trading the NASDAQ, and let's say you're going for 10 points, you just trade 1. That's going to be, you'd say you want to just trade 1 contract of NQ. That's $200. And let me tell you right now, in the market, NQ is moving 10 points every few seconds. It is wild. So you want your P&L to fluctuate that much, and sure, you can go down to the micros, which I highly suggest. But if you're on the micros, they don't have a different plan here for, you get 5 contracts on the micros or the minis, right? Well, so we were just looking here was the minis. So we're looking at the E-mini NASDAQ, E-mini S&P. If you go down to the micros here, sure, you're going to have a little bit more flexibility because it's 1/10 the size, which is probably where you want to go. If you're trading this, you probably want to go with the micros. However, because you're making a small amount of money here, 1 contract on 10 points in the NASDAQ of the micros is going to make you $20 or lose $20, right? So you're going to have a slower process, but this is no different than in real life. In real life, you have a very slow process. It's a repeatable process. Any successful trader has a repeatable process that they do day in, day out. The certain amount of size and the risk, their stop losses and their take profits. They do the same thing every single day, day by day. Every day for years, right? That's their process. They have a process that whether they follow EMAs, they follow different technical indicators, they just follow price action. Maybe they don't use a chart at all. Maybe they're just going off the bid ask. They're just going off the orders. There's a lot of ways people make money in the markets, right? But if you don't get your sizing right, and they give you a lot, like especially you just saw here, if you don't get your sizing right and you're going 2 contracts or 3 contracts or even 1 contract with $1,000 daily loss or weekly loss, you're going to run into trouble and you have a high risk of blowing your account. And you can be in denial and be like, hey, that's not going to be me. That's not going to be me. But listen, things happen in the market that are outside of our control, right? We may have a position on, like that's why stop losses are for, and this is what this is for. But new traders, they're not good at getting stopped out. They're not. A lot of new traders that I know, and I know a lot of new traders, they don't even use stop loss. They're like, oh, I don't plan to take a loss. Well, what's your exit strategy? I look to take profits here. Okay, well, what if it doesn't? What price would you be willing to take a loss? Well, no, I'm good. And then they blow their account in 1 trade. This happens over and over again. Us versus herd, we're a community for new traders. We want to get people, in the markets participating, but we have to understand that as a new trader, you have to be disciplined, and new traders are not going to be disciplined because they never got burnt. Now, if you're going to get burnt within this program, you're going to be eating up monthly fees. You're like, well, that's way better than doing it on my own, right? It's way better than losing $1,000 of my own money. Which, I mean, it may be true. Maybe that's for you. Maybe you want to learn this way. But, I mean, after a few months of this, I mean, this is going to get pretty expensive. If you're doing Topstep for 5 months, I mean, you're going to be paying $1,000. Versus if you have a simulation account, which comes free with either a NinjaTrader or Tradeovate or any program, you can get a simulation account which costs you $0. But you can kind of learn, test strategies, and you say, well, the risk isn't the same, or the little carrot and dangling in front of me is not enough because whenever I do simulation, whenever I do simulation, I make money, but then when I go on real money or I do one of these funding programs, I lose money. So, I just want to tell you something about that that's your problem. That's your problem. You should be trading your simulation account mentally like you would real money. Not caring is only going to get you in trouble, and eventually it's going to get you in trouble when you have real capital to back it up, right? And the best way, I mean, if you're looking at some of these rates here, I mean, Topstep and these other firms are not doing you any favor. With NinjaTrader or Tradeovate, you can trade a micro contract right here. Let's say the micro MES contract. We can let me highlight this here. You could trade an MES contract right here. Intraday margin is going to cost you $50. So you could trade one micro contract for $50. I think the minimum for NinjaTrader is like the minimum account balance you need is $200 or $400. I think to open an account you need $400. So you could trade one MES right here. If you're trading a micro NASDAQ, it's going to cost you $100. Which, if you're just trying to get your feet wet, I would definitely, like, if you're like, I need to trade with real money or something like that, put in $400 into NinjaTrader or Tradeovate and trade off of one MES or one MNQ contract. You're going to get a better feel than the simulation account or what any of these other funding companies are going to do for you. Tradeovate is in the same situation, so it's not like you're not getting a lot of access to capital or anything. These margin rates through NinjaTrader, and these are intraday. Which if intraday margin, that means just like Topstep or any of these funding companies, you can only trade intraday. You can't hold overnight. Otherwise, you're going to go with the these other margin requirements that you have to meet, which you're not going to meet. So you're looking to close that position out before the futures market closes, and you could trade while futures market is open, but you can't trade between, which is only, futures are only down for an hour and over the weekends, right? MNQ, if we look here, we'll pull up MES here on Tradeovate. Pretty similar. So their intraday is going to be $55. MNQ is going to be $100. So pretty similar. So NinjaTrader beats Tradeovate on MES by like $5, but the same for micro NASDAQs. Okay, so and actually NinjaTrader just bought Tradeovate, so it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. So if you're looking to trade, it might be more advantageous to you to start off with one of these other platforms. And if you want to use the same platforms that Topstep uses, you could just open up a Tradeovate account and you could trade your simulation account. They give you one for free, or you could trade with real money for not a lot. I mean, like I said, if you're trading one MES contract, it's going to cost you for one contract $55 in margin. Now that you could lose more than $55, sure, but this is where risk management is going to come into play. Like, you're not going to succeed any of these funding companies without risk management. Just like you wouldn't in real life. Like, you wouldn't succeed trading in real life without risk management. And sure, maybe those rules with Topstep and all these other firms are going to help you, but you could set, if you want to have, you could set a loss limit. Like Tradeovate has different options where you could say in the security settings, you could say, hey, I only want to lose this much a day or a week. If I hit that, close me out. Don't let me open any more trades. You can do that. You could do that if you want to trade these exact rules within Tradeovate. You can do that, and I'll probably do a demo video on how you could set this up in Tradeovate, where you don't have to pay the monthly fee. You could run the sim account, and you can have access to real time data. Or if you want to use those intraday margins, I feel like it's going to be a lot cheaper for you, a lot cheaper, especially if you're starting out. Now, if you're more experienced, if you want to take a stab at it, you should be able to fly through this no problem. But I just kind of wanted to show you that it's not necessarily a better way to go with a prop trading firm if you're not ready to do so. So if you have any questions, let me know. Leave me a comment. As always, stay safe, stay green. It's us versus herd.